It was a soggy start to first practice in Sao Paulo, with conditions more suited to ducks than drivers. As the rain clouds drifted away though, standing water meant the first cars on track were on the blue-ringed, wet Pirelli tyre, capable of dispersing 65 litres of water per second at full speed. Valtteri Bottas had his customary caffeine shot before the session and looked a little jittery exiting the pit lane, slip-sliding his way onto the undulating Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. And as the water slowly drained away, it was his Mercedes teammate, the newly crowned world champion Lewis Hamilton, who was the first to venture out on the intermediates. But it was Red Bull's Alex Albon, now confirmed at the team for 2020, who celebrated by posting the fastest time on the green-ringed boots, a 1 minute 16.142, 5/10 faster than his nearest rival. However, in the dying minutes of the session, both Red Bulls took to the track a little too soon on slick tyres. Max Verstappen spinning at the bottom of the Senna S, and Albon sliding agonisingly into the wall at Junção, breaking his front right suspension.
Yeah, copy.
With both drivers and constructors' titles wrapped up, the battles for midfield glory and that all-important prize money are still very much alive. Racing Point currently sit in 6th position, just a point ahead of Toro Rosso, whose drivers were very much on the pace. Pierre Gasly just marginally ahead of his teammate Danny Kvyat in P8 and P9. The Russian also spinning late on slick tyres. Kevin Magnussen had a big lock-up through turn 10, pushing hard in the knowledge that there are just 7 points separating Haas and Alfa Romeo in the battle for 8th in the Constructors' Championship. The Dane and his teammate Romain Grosjean will need decent finishes if they're to overhaul the Italian-Swiss outfit. George Russell had a few hairy moments, with Nicholas Latifi sitting in for Robert Kubica during FP1. The Canadian continuing to make his case for a race seat in 2020, but over a second adrift of the 2018 Formula 2 champions' time. So Albon fastest despite his crash, ahead of Bottas and the two Ferraris of Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc in P3 and P4 respectively. Carlos Sainz continued his good form, 5th fastest, with Nico Hülkenberg P6 just ahead of Daniel Ricciardo in the other Renault and the two Toro Rossos. Magnussen was the only Haas to set a time, P12 for the Dane. Same story for Racing Point, with Lance Stroll P13 and teammate Sergio Perez completing just a single installation lap. Kimi Raikkonen finished ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi, but the Alfa drivers will need to find something extra this weekend if they're to keep hold of that 8th spot in the Constructors' Championship.